Hey guys, I'm Michael Derr and welcome back to Top Speed Golf. Now, what is the bounce and why do we want to use it? Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys know what the bounce is. That's that little bump that's under the leading edge of our wedge. And a lot of guys that I've talked to, a lot of amateurs, think that that's just for pros and the pros use the bounce. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you that's not the case. And I'm going to show you how to use that bounce doing something that you guys already know how to do. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, let's first real quick just go over why we want to use the bounce. Now we know we want to use the bounce in the bunker because we want to make sure that we strike the sand with the bounce so that we can let that club bounce out of the sand, lift the ball up nice and high and drop down onto the green. Now there are other places to use it in approach shots from the fairway, from around the green where we're trying to get a ball up a little bit higher to hit it over a bunker, you know, the dreaded over the bunker shot. Maybe a ball that you just hit short of the water that you got to hit nice and high to get over the water and the bunker to get onto the green. So that's what the bounce is for. It's to help us lift the ball up without a lot of possibility for air with digging the club into the ground. And that's exactly what it's for. It's going to help stop us from digging the club down in the ground. So very simply, if I hit the ground with the leading edge, let me back up here a little bit. If I hit the ground with the leading edge, we can see it's going to stick down into the ground. That's what gives us those big old divots when we're taking our wedge shots and we come down a little too far on them. Now, if I take that same swing and I just put the bounce down on the ground, okay, we can see that the club bounces right up off the ground. That's why they call it the bounce. Now, I told you, you already know how to use this because we already do what we need to do in our golf swing to be able to use the bounce. Okay, so when we use the bounce in our normal setup, we're going to put the leading edge on the ground behind the ball. So we know that when we strike a golf ball, we're going to want to hit the ball first before we hit the ground. And we know that we want that leading edge to hit the ground just after it strikes the ball. So what we need to do simply to use the bounce is to turn that leading edge or turn that bounce into our leading edge and let that be the part that hits the ground just after contact of the ball. So we already know how to strike the ball using the leading edge going towards the ball. All we need to do is think of that bounce more like the leading edge of the golf club. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a couple shots right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just use the leading edge like normal, like we all know how to do. Okay, we see we got a little divot, nice clean contact, and we got that desired strike on the ball. Okay, so now let's give myself a little bit of an imaginary situation where I got to hit it over a bunker. What I want to do here in an ideal world that you see the pros do is they'll use that bounce to slide the club underneath the ball with no divot, pop the ball up nice and soft, and land it right on the other side of the bunker. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is lay that bounce on the ground just like I would lay that leading edge on the ground, and I'm going to lay the bounce on the ground, and I'm going to use that bounce just like I did the leading edge. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that bounce hit the ground just after I make contact with the ball. Okay, so we saw the club bounce right up underneath the ball, pop the ball up nice and high, and I got a nice little soft desired shot that I wanted. And it was pretty much the same exact swing that we use when we take with the leading edge. The only difference is instead of me thinking I want to strike the ground with the leading edge, I said I want to strike the ground with the bounce. And that's how simple we can make using the bounce in our shot. Okay guys, so this drill we're going to do is going to be very similar to the stuff we went over in the video, and that's going to be an alternate shot drill where we hit a normal shot and then a bounce shot back and forth for a total of 100 repetitions. So we're going to hit these nice short 10 to 15 yard shots. And the first shot we're going to hit is going to be a normal shot where we put the leading edge on the ground and we take a nice easy swing and we hit that ball on a little bit of a lower trajectory, about 10 to 15 yards. And then we're going to set up our next shot, the very next shot. We're going to use the bounce, and we're going to set that bounce on the ground, take that nice little short swing, okay? Let that bounce slide right up underneath the ball. And all we're going for here is nice, clean, crisp contact like we just got right there. And when we hit the bounce shots, we should have a nice, soft, high shot. And what you're going to do is you're going to go back and forth to those shots for 100 repetitions, and then you're going to get 50 more repetitions in a row just hitting bounce shots. So after we hit those 100 repetitions, then we're going to hit 50 shots in a row, putting that bounce on the ground, and letting that bounce slide up underneath the ball. And once you get 50 good bounce shots in a row, you're going to be well on your way to getting that feel of how to use the bounce. And then I want you to take that out into the course and try it out there while you're out on the course when you got those tricky up and down shots, and start getting those balls to land soft and close to the hole so you can get them up and down more often and score lower in your game. Now guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned a little bit more today about how to use the bounce to get those tricky up and down shots closer to the hole on a more consistent basis. But stay tuned, I got a great bonus video coming up that I'm gonna play a preview of at the end of this video that you can check out by clicking on the link that pops up in the preview or in the description below. It's gonna help you build tons of lag that directly translates into power and consistency, and I highly recommend you check out that video, and make sure you subscribe to the Top Speed Golf YouTube channel so that you can be notified first of when new content comes out, and make sure you like, subscribe, and +1 this video on Google. That really helps us grow the channel, and I truly appreciate it every time you guys do. Good luck with your games, guys. Good luck with your swings, and we'll see you guys soon.
Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clay Ballard, and in today's video we're going to talk about one of the absolute worst drills for creating lag. It's a very common drill that I see, and in this drill what we're going to do is we're going to set the wrist very early to create an angle of lag, and then we're going to try to hold this throughout the swing. It's one of the worst things that you can do to build lag. I'm going to talk about the science behind why this is the case, and I'm also going to give you a great drill to help you improve your lag, all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. If I do it this way versus holding that position, exact same thing happens when we're building the lag in the golf swing. So what we want to do is throughout the swing, I want to have a very low and wide takeaway. So I'm not going to set my wrist early at all. If you look at a lot of the top players, you look at Adam Scott, very wide takeaway, not very much wrist set at all. You look at Rory McIlroy, look at Tiger Woods. All these players are using a wide takeaway and not getting very much wrist set, so that later in the swing, as we start down, we can increase this wrist set, and we're really only going to max out this angle of lag for a split second in the downswing. Okay, so a 3-step drill here. Now, as we get started with this, I want to remind you that the fulcrum in this golf club for getting a massive amount of lag is right at the end of the golf club. This is where I want my hinge point to be. I want to use the full length of this club to build lag and then release lag.